a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and we have wonderful guests. And I'd like to say one thing before I bring my guest on is I don't spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your time talking about some product that I'm wanting to sell. And not that I don't have products that I, have affiliate links with, but I do would appreciate it if you'd look into in the description and look at them, so I don't have to sit here and do 5 minutes of commercials before. This costs money to do, and time and energy, and I'd appreciate it if you would at least look at what I put in the description, because I take a great deal of time in research to find things that that I know will help you in some capacity. So with that being said, let me bring on Jenny Lee, and we're going to talk about the future of our world.
Hey.
Hi, Jenny.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going.
Yeah.
It's going and going and going, but I'm still not seeing the things I want to see.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I agree that everybody's on the standstill, but also there's nothing. Everybody knows that there's nothing behind us anymore either. We're kind of just stuck at this phase of like, well, everything behind us has collapsed and everything in front of us is being rebuilt, and they just need to open up the doors so we can all just head for the hills and get across the bridge. That's the whole thing. People are like, they're waiting, they want to dive into it. And that's the whole thing about it. And everybody, I think it was it Tuesday? It was like this energy. It felt like the creepy crawlies all over your body. It was so weird on Tuesday how the energy was.
It's been a weird week. I don't remember what day it was either, but it's been kind of weird, I must say.
It was very weird, and it was just it just feels like you didn't have any space, and that the energy was just right here. And yeah, it was just, I call it this blackboard scratch syndrome, where you just feel like you're so irritated by everything.
It's an anxiety, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
High
anxiety.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they just couldn't take it, and it is affecting us in that way. But for us to get to a certain process in this world, we have to go through these change. Not that we feel comfortable about a lot of it, but we're getting through it.
Apparently, we're not the only ones.
Right?
Patricia just said it's been an exhausting week. And it has been for me. And we also have to deal with, I think, because of that kind of anxiety and stuff, people get triggered over nothing.
I know.
And that becomes an issue too, especially if they're not very aware of things going on. Not that necessarily makes it any better, but it kind of helps a little bit to know that the energies can affect us the way they do.
Right. Yeah, they can. And they can trigger us too. I mean, that's what they try to do. And that was the thing with this, we were kind of talking about before, was this whole giant thing in Florida that they created. And I just think that is trying to get humans' veil of understanding to see something different.
I think they're doing predictive programming because there's been a couple of so-called sightings in other, there were some in South America someplace, and
Yeah.
I think someplace else too. And I think it's kind of trying, to open that doorway a little bit so
It
people
is.
start
But I
to.
mean, it's really funny. They talked about a lot about what happened down in Florida, but I'm like, well, so where did they go? So where are they? So
Where are
what
they now? Yeah.
Where did they go? Did they go back into the ground? Did they go back in the sky? No one says that. They just say they were there. Okay, well, where did they go?
Did they go back into a black hole or what?
Why was there no color in their face? Why is it just black and white? Because that's on the other veil of on the other side of the veil. So I'm more of a detail person. I want to see details in the face and all that stuff. And I'm going, that's like something like you got from a 1979 camera that you took a picture of. I mean, give me a break. I mean, if people fall into that, we got some issues. And I've had people send me messages like, you're not really falling for this, are you? Because it's just testing your conscience to see how you're going to react to it. But then again, everybody sees it and then they go, I'm like, where'd they go? Anybody know where they go? No, we can't talk about it. We can't bring it up. I'm like, come on. Seriously.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, that incident in Miami. And I know that my first gut reaction was CGI.
Right. It's just, but you know what? The alien community, a lot of them are like, oh, look. Didn't we tell you this? Didn't we tell you this is going to happen? Are you serious? This is your alien, right? Yeah. So I don't know. It's just getting to be a big show that's a joke.
Did anybody even get a picture of those so-called beings? I didn't see a picture. Did you?
I saw a shadow, and that doesn't count. I want details. I want stuff in the face. I want to see wardrobe. I want to see what they're carrying, all this stuff. So what their eyes look like. Nope, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, and they use the excuse. They use the excuse that the cameras and phones didn't work in there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
How convenient, right?
Yeah, how convenient. Well, people, they just buy into it. And that's what I'm saying. If you see,
that's what got us here where we are now, too. That's the whole problem with that sort of thing.
I mean, that's the thing that and I think it was a test for the UFO community because they jumped on that bandwagon like nothing. See, we told you. I'm like, you serious? You're going to use this as documentation? This is pathetic.
Yeah, it is. And they keep calling it a movie, and I'm so sick of this movie. I want it to end.
I want the
and
film.
Popcorn. Ugh.
I want the film to burn.
I'm popcorned out. I tell you what.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh, so somebody says there are videos. I haven't seen that.
I've seen them, but they're in a distance. They're just faded. I'm telling you, you could get better footage in 1943 than you could get that in Miami that night. I mean, it's bad.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even see them, but my gut reaction was CGI. I mean, in part, just the way that it happened,
Right.
They're here 1 minute and they're gone the next.
Epstein list comes out, and then look what happens. It pulls up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. They don't want you to read that list, so we're going to make you look at giants, and these are the nephilims, and just pay attention over here, sheep. But we're okay, and I'm like, yeah, the ones that think that's true will follow that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
Dennis says that they had better aliens on the Outer Limits in 1963.
I know, it is horrible.
Oh my God, yeah.
And they think that is credible. That's the whole sad thing. I'm like, it's not true.
Yeah, I tried to walk out of this movie a long time ago, but it just keeps going on. Somebody's talking about that too. But anyway.
Yeah. So do I think there's going to be more of these Tinkerbell events? That's what I'll use. The Tinkerbell events, yes. Ding. Yeah. But not as drunk. But yeah, they're going to have more of these appear in different forms and different places, and is people going to buy it? No. So, and then aren't the Nephilim supposed to be like human? They use human as food.
Aren't they
Why didn't they get ate? Why didn't they pick them up and eat them? I just want to know. I
But-
mean, isn't that the way they're supposed to do it? Isn't that what they did? And was it Iran that they had them? One of them. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that one. That's right. You're right.
Snacky. I'm just saying, it is a joke.
Yeah, it's not. It's fake
humanity.
as all get out. Yeah, and then Wide Awake says project Jesus. That should be. Oh my God. I hope they don't do that, but that could happen too.
Well, especially it's the white Jesus. We're already gonna know that one's fake.
Yeah, really. It's like Michelle says, can we just fast forward to the end, please?
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it's just that whole process of what's going on. And we're just sitting here in an elevator waiting, and we're seeing these, as you go down the elevator and seeing all these shows you don't want to see. Like, I'm sick of the show. I'm sick of that view. I'm sick of the pedo view. They're just like, hang on, just get it over with so we can move on to a process. And that's what people want because they already know about it.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that do know. And it just needs they need to tell the public that the people that don't know, the ones that are still asleep.
Well, I know.
Or we call them normies,
like, that's fake. That's not true. So I think the giant would have to come up and slap them. Is this fake?
That might work.
Let me slap you across the street for a while. Does that feel fake now? Make sure it's a liberal, though. That'd be funny. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you, Geographic.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a sad situation when you're using cartoon characters to and which I do think they're more of a cartoon character putting up on a screen, and because they've already showed you, if you've seen it in New York, you've seen it in China where they've done these big screens and made it look like they're coming out of the screens. It's all there already. So, and the higher technology is advanced, so it's a joke. It is.
Well, I do. Tammy is saying that it's unusually quiet on social media overall, and it's because they're not putting anything new and different up. It's all stuff that we've all heard before, right, or whatever. Same old, and we don't see something. We don't justice at any stage of the game here. Supposedly,
right,
arrests are going on, but how come we don't see them?
Well, because they happen at 2:00 in the morning, and they don't want to get them in the middle of the day. They want to get them till they're in their underwear or in their bed, strip ass naked, and then pulling them out. That's why, that's what's happening at 2 a.m. And so, and that's
the cops probably really enjoy that show.
I'm telling you, it almost feels like the truther community. Some of them are just like they're at a bar waiting across the bar and go, well, we use this prop. That's not going to work. Well, let's try this one. Maybe this one will work this week. And then you could tell that the conscience of the people are like, we're pissed and we're sick of it. So I'm literally, they can't come with any more props that they haven't already used as a prop. You know what I'm saying? So now the people are seeking raw, detailed, insightful information. They're not going to buy it anymore. They've gone down that road. They're done with it. And then they're shutting their pockets down, and they're not giving them money. And you can see the desperation.
That's what really creates action.
Oh yeah. That
Dennis is saying,
that sweat t-shirt that you buy and it has that name on, that is going to make you feel so much better, that t-shirt. Really? No, it's not.
It's not working.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Dennis is saying that in 2020, this is an IQ test from God, creator God, prime creator, many are still failing the test.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And I think the ones that got it, their conscience is so exhausted.
Oh,
They're
God.
exhausted.
Tell me about it.
They are getting at that point. Yeah, I'm looking at the flood. It's looking good. The flood's looking good.
I know that one picture. Did you see that one I posted? Oh, yes, you
Yeah,
did.
it's looking good.
Flooded
And
again.
yes, it's flooded again. Yes, you can tell people are getting fed up. They're at a point of getting fed up, and you can tell that people are like, okay, they got a certain amount of time, and then you're going to see this warrior type of energy from everybody just changing, and they get to the find out
Ooh,
stage.
that just gave me that just made my hair stand up there. That was a
Right.
truth.
It is down to you do something about it, or we will.
Well, that's what it's getting down to, and if it takes pitchforks and and sticks and whatever. I mean, I know that I'm being facetious, but yeah,
yeah. Well, I would like one of the people that can't make up their mind what they are today and what female they are tomorrow and what male they are tomorrow, and go up to a giant and go, by the way, I have to correct you, on my pronouns.
What is that? My pronouns. What?
I don't know, but I think they would never forget it, of how they would really react from that situation. So, so another program.
Well, a lot of them that have been that for any length of time, as they get older, they want to go back to what they originally were.
Right, because they were just stages of puberty.
And what they've done is mind controlled and programmed people in such a way that ones that are susceptible, and it's sad. It really is, because it's really a royal mindfuck. Oops, I probably shouldn't
Well,
have
it
said that.
is.
That's
It
what
is
it is.
in a way, but they don't care what they've done to them, and they don't care the repercussions, and they don't care the outcome anymore. They just used it.
No, they never have really cared, I don't think.
No.
And that's the sad part of it all. And that's why I want them to leave the planet and just have good-hearted people here. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, I mean, and I think what it is when you're young and you don't understand what choice you want to make yet, and then they go, by the way, let me strongly suggest that you just do this. And that was the problem. They couldn't leave it alone. They had to highly suggest what they needed to be. And that's why you're seeing the downfall of that now. But I honestly believe that the gay community is one's going to stand up and help those kids out. I honestly believe that, because they've been down that road, and that's not something they would ever choose. But I guarantee you they're going to be the one picking up the pieces on that, of trying to help them. So yeah, I think it's a sad situation, but they really took advantage of them.
Yes, they have.
And so I think for what's changing is something that we don't even think, because as in how the funding finances changing, how I think when it shuts down, I think people are just going to be in stun shock. They're going to be very quiet. It's going to be like this peaceful, no internet, no nothing. And the reality of that takes a while to even get to. And then you have that quietness, that calmness. Mm-hmm. Then as everything turns back on, then seeing what will not come back, that will not be there. Hopefully no McDonald's again.
If people knew what they were eating, they would not eat there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, Walmart's another one though.
Oh yeah, they're bad.
Yeah. So
We have to start hitting them at the pocketbook. Some of these companies and so on.
Well, I don't think there's anybody left to hit, because I think they're gone in a different way. And when, like I said, when they come back on, nope, they're not there. Nope, they're not there either. Nope, do you look over there? They're not there. So, it's going to be gone. Doors will be shut, locked, padlocked, and just done.
Isn't that the way it is with a lot of buildings in Washington, D.C. right now?
Yeah. And now, like I was saying, they were showing me, now look to the cities. They're saying, like I said, the water that's going to come in, and the weather.
Are they going to water?
No.
More than it already is?
Yeah, exactly. You've already adapted to that.
Yeah.
So I just feel more weather that's unusual that's going to happen. But what they're showing me is looking in alleyways, looking in different roads where they can exit, to take off. And they're not doing that. They're going to isolate the ones that need to be isolated. So you're going to see wire fencing. You're going to see concrete blocks showed up on roads and stuff like that. So you might just wake up at 2 a.m. and they might have all these roadblocks and these road checks, and that they're just there. It doesn't take that long for them to set that up. I'm just telling you. So one of the, I'll go with this. LA's, we know it's going to happen. LA is probably your biggest pit. New York, Chicago. I think a little bit of Denver is going to happen too, that they showed me.
What about Seattle? Anything on them?
Portland, saturated.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Well, that one's going to be the longest one.
Yeah.
So Portland's going to be a big one. Because that's saturated. That's saturated in witchcraft, though, too.
Which one, Portland?
Oh, yeah. Huge. That's all it is. Just, and there's the ones that are trying to fight against it. It's just, it's a hard situation. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking, Pauline's asking, you said something about 2 a.m. on a couple of different occasions. And do you know what country that will be? Because we're all in different times. Well,
Well, I already think it's already happening everywhere. That's the whole thing. It's not, you can't find a country that no activity is happening. Do you know one? I don't. It's everywhere. It's everywhere that stuff is going on. So,
yeah.
And unless you're on some top mountain that no one's ever been there, it's quiet and peaceful, more power to you. But it's, it's activating everywhere on all kinds of stages of that presence. And there, the thing is, it's the human conscience is standing up. The human conscience is standing
Finally. Starting to stand up, yeah.
They're done. They're like, we don't care anymore. Because it's down to this, and now that it's down to this, we're fighting across the board. And like I said, all Trump's got to do is say one word, and they will stand up. And that's the truth, and they know it, and that is what they fear. That is,
boy, do they just will not stop going after him. I mean, it's just, they'll just protest too much. I mean, it's so obvious. It's unbelievable that they even think they can get away with it. So I just had to put that up there. Have pitchfork will travel. That's funny.
Right. Exactly.
That's a good one, Lunar Sun.
And that's the thing is we're down to taking it back, literally, physically taking it back. So that's the whole process in that. And then we talked about, they were showing a certain church with the white robes, and I call them the red shoes, and that they were, remember I told you at the end, they have to show who they're loyal to, and then he's showing his loyalty.
That's happening. I see that happening already.
Yeah. But I don't people remember that that group of entities already made a choice on how they were going to exit this realm. So, and it was through the process of grouping them in a room and deciding that exit. So, so I don't, this is the thing that people need to get ready. That you saw what happened in New York. Was that a Jewish temple up there? Was it Jewish that they found in the underground guns?
Yeah, it was Jewish.
Okay,
yes, it was. Does that surprise you?
You got Catholic, you got Jewish. We're gonna Christians aren't going to get out of it because they're part of it too.
Mormons
are the big.
Oh my goodness, they were exposed in the last video I did with.
So there's not one religion that's going to have their hands clean off of it, because they're not. There's so many that are involved in it. And just because of what you see in the surface, wait till you get down to the bottom of it, because they know. They all put their hands where it didn't belong, and so now it has to be surfaced to the top of
and they were offered a great deal of money to go along with the program, which I won't go into any depth on because I'm on YouTube. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The past few years, what we went through. The churches took money and pushed it.
Right. They
because
did.
That was a requirement for taking the money. And did they do any research or investigation, or were they just so money hungry that they just took the money?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. It's we're in that type of process. And so so now the reaction, and I think each individual city is going to handle things differently. It depends on the people there. It depends on look at the farmers. Was it Scotland what they did?
Was it Scotland where they were blowing the crap?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, they don't.
Now that's standing up, isn't it? That's saying we ain't taking it anymore.
Right.
Remember that movie with that guy that said, "Okay, I want you to go out to your window and just say, I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore, and I won't take it anymore." Yeah.
So that's
we're getting to that point.
It's trapped. We're in the stage of trapping the rat. They're in the stage of trapping the rats. And so, so if you see, what do you call that? Pirates of Caribbean. If you see that scene where you see,
I know what you mean.
He's running down the street, and all of a sudden there's a big crowd. You're like
running after him.
Yes, they're running after the pedophile. I'm telling you, that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna start hunting them down, and that's what they knew.
Oh, and have you seen the latest about they're coming out? There's a few people that have come out and saying that we should offer amnesty to everyone that participated in pushing the program. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's
their family must have been not impacted by it, and that's not something you can't let
this took out people's grandparents and parents and even children. I'm sorry. There's people that'll stand up and say, "Oh, you got to forgive. You got to forgive." Well, you know what? There's some things that are just not. I'm sorry. They're not forgivable.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's one of them. That's one of them. They stood there and watched it, and they stood there and let it happen, and they stood there. So I don't want to hear it's my job. Who cares? Who cares?
It's your job? You mean you don't have? Yeah. So that's everything about you is your job.
Right.
I learned about that quite a while ago. You're not your job. You're not what you, the label that you have with whatever career you may be in. Well, I think what's important right now.
Yeah. So I think you're going to see a lot. This is what I'm getting. There's going to be a lot of stuff in the sky. And they've showed me they said recently, all the crop circles were always been doorways of showing you the truth in different forms and different,
Oh yeah, there's a
and they
lot.
were
Yeah.
telling me that, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense of because how they look different on different areas, and they were just showing you. So now we're into the point of breaking down the matrix and looking at that net I told you that's breaking down, and the circle motion that's breaking down, and you're seeing the veil break down, and that's what's going on now. So expect to see, it looks like a white black hole in the sky, but it's not a black hole. But there's circular motions of whiteness that are forming into a circle of motion and bringing energy in and out. You're going to see phenomenal things that you're not normally used to seeing. Things open and shutting doors in different places that you didn't think there was a door to shut. So you've got to start looking outside the box on this situation. It's not just humans involved in this situation. And that's what they can't get over. That's what they can't get past their conscience on. So, so this is what they're saying. The ocean, these, so as things change in the atmosphere and it makes waves, and then it hits the shorelines. And then whatever, like they said, the inner earth brings up to the surface, it's coming up, so everything's draining down, and it's going to cause, certain things to happen. So the thing is they're telling me they really need to keep an eye in the sky, keep an eye in it, because you're going to see some formations and forms that are going to be more apparent. That veil is thinning down. But I guarantee you, a real thing like that, and they're like, nope, that's just like the giants. That's fake. Like,
Yeah,
that's they're gonna do. So I mean, it's just how they.
Kevin is saying about how he's got to dumb his conversations down because even his inner circle are starting to think he's crazy. I'm shining the light to try to wake everybody up, but I know exactly how you feel. You can sense it from people. I said something over at a class that I was in, and that related to something that I just assumed that they knew. Just because they do meditation and yoga doesn't mean they're awake.
No, yeah. I think that a lot of them is just more of a title than actually doing the work, because the ones that actually do the work, they don't need the group of the yoga person to do it. They go into their own meditations, their own frequency, their own way, and they have their own experience. So yeah, you can really see that.
Well, for me, it works better because I'm at a place where I can have peace and quiet. But
right. But you know what I'm saying, as in you lead that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Through spirit. You don't need an instructor to tell you how to communicate with that. So I think, and it's not just going to be the daytime; it's going to be the nighttime too. And then watching certain different animals show up on the beach. That's like, I've never seen that before. I've never seen this before. Because we're combining those walls are deteriorating, those ice walls, and there are things and creatures that are coming back behind that, and they're going to show up on this side, and we're not going to understand it, and we're trying to make sense of it all, and there's just that world that is no longer.
That's what people can't seem to get a grasp of.
Right. And there's an epidemic right now in the paranormal. There's this activity that's different now, that you feel like you're in a crowded room with a bunch of them around now, that everybody's standing around like waiting for everything. You know what I'm saying? You can feel it more. And so, the veil is thinning on every process of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I read somewhere that too, that we have a lot of new souls coming in that are very high vibrational that will
Yeah.
be helping to raise the vibration of the planet significantly. And as more and more of these negative beings are removed,
Like, yeah,
that's going to help.
A negative being like Anki, that's a negative being. So yeah, if you could remove that one, that would be great. And then create dismantling these idols that they keep creating. They need to completely, maybe they need to dismantle it in front of society. It's like, this is this one, now we're going to dismantle it, and that's so you understand that this one idol is not working for you at all. But like I said, at the end, they have to show who they're loyal to. They have to. And that's what's happening. You're seeing it in every way. I mean,
yeah, I've seen a lot of the celebrities come out with the devil horns and the sticking their tongue out and the symbols of Satanism.
mm-hmm.
More and more of them are exposing it, or the one eye thing.
There's nothing left in them when you're at that point. There's no sense of a soul there. It's just an agenda that is working.
Well, when their soul goes out, another entity comes in, it appears.
Right. Exactly. It's not going to change anything. So I think the earthquake, and that's going to keep occurring. The weather patterns are going to keep occurring. The ocean lines, you need to watch the shorelines, what's going on there. You need to watch the sky, what's going on there. And I'm still waiting for the buildings. They're like the buildings. Remember, don't forget about, we're not done with this process of these buildings. A lot of these buildings will be dismantled.
And how will that occur? Like blown up or what?
A wrecking ball, and then maybe like a hotel. Well, if you don't come out, I guess we're just going to blow it up. So, yeah, I mean,
a lot of the satanic symbols that
it's all got to go. It's all got to be dismantled. It's all got to be torn down. I mean, and so people
built it to keep the frequency down.
Mm-hmm.
And to
the thing that Spirit told me is that their very existence, their name, their title, all that stuff will be obliterated from this world. And that is something they don't want. They want their tale of their story told. They want to show how powerful they were or what they conquered. And it's not. They keep saying it'll be obliterated. Everything that was created by them. So that is not going to look good in the future. And you're seeing more of these people when you make a deal with the situation and then they humiliate them and put them in these pink dresses and everything else. You go, that's pretty low, you know. It's just that process of I'm in control of you and you're going to do everything I say. And we're talking about males wearing pink dresses, you know, and it's.
I just saw, and they do that as part of a humiliation thing to the males. And I just saw a Snoop Dogg and.
Yeah, you my bitch. That's all it is. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. I mean, we're just down to.
It's like they're making them do that right now. I guess that's how they're showing themselves. I mean, that's that kind of thing's coming out, and they're posting it around, and they have to live with that.
Right. Exactly.
They sold their soul years ago.
So the process, what I kind of want to talk about is California, and they. When I did the drawings of the line, but they said that the shorelines will keep deteriorating. It's not going to be stable.
Coming inland,
it's going to keep
coming inland.
Yeah, it's going to keep deteriorating. And I don't
Is
care.
this just California, or is this the entire West Coast?
No, I have it on. For right now, they just show me the California from the Orange County up to, I think, San Francisco. In the beginning phases, and then there'll be an opening. And by LA, you're going to see water flowing through because that's just a big giant pit. And once you see, like, it looks like someone just dropped a bomb in the ground, and you see layers of buildings inside the ground and stuff like that. So they showed me that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not living there.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to change. I mean, people already know there that it's already changed. You can't function a normal way there anymore. I mean, you can't. And I think they just, in a disturbing way, just ignore what's happening on the streets. They ignore, and I'm just talking about, they've got
The
you
homeless
programmed to
population?
ignore it, just to ignore it. The homeless, where they're defecating, the disease, all that stuff. Just ignore it. Don't worry about it. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And the public is going to be the one that's going to have to go hand in hand to clean this all up and scrub it down. And I call it defoam it, the bacteria and everything like that. It's bad. But it's
unbelievable that it's that way in this country. We never would have expected that years ago, and they hide it. They hide it. I mean, if they put out in the mass media some of these pictures of homeless people in LA, in Phoenix, in Portland, in any of these a lot of these different cities, people would be shocked how it is. And
another deliberate program. Yeah. It's deliberate. So we're looking at those, that process.
Yeah. Tim says, I've had more than enough. Hence, I summon war angels.
Yes, exactly.
Really? Let's get this done.
Right. So
it's time to finish things up.
Yeah. So finishing things up, it's everybody. And that's why you see all the countries making sure everybody's done with what they have to do. And like I said, I told you, I think the green light's going to hit at the same time with the funding. It's going to be at the same time, because wouldn't it really suck if one country got funded and they're just celebrating? You're like, where the hell's our money? And it's just because they want to be a part of that celebration. So I'm just telling you, it's going to be at the same consistent time, whether it's 2 a.m. here, whether it's 1 a.m. there, whether it's 5 a.m. in the morning. I just feel that it's going to be at the same time. And I don't think anybody is. I think this week everybody's kind of that awakened stage, and I mean, they're not sleeping. You're kind of really alert in that process. Yeah.
Kevin said something about doing the time. I mean, that's a bit cliche, but these people never thought nothing's ever happened to them. They've been getting away with these horrific things for years, eons, generations.
Right.
And so they just don't care.
The whole thing is they let them get away with it.
They never do the time. The little people do the time.
Right.
For petty shit compared to what these guys are doing.
And that's what I said. What's the... that's why I say that you're going to see a lot of Johnny Depp situations running down the street and everybody chasing them. Telling you.
Wait till they find out what, let me put it, this Hillary did and her cohort to some little girl. Wait till they find out. Wait till they see some of that. Thank God I didn't see the whole thing, but I'm telling people it was enough to make really seasoned police officers who've seen a lot go throw up.
Yeah,
That's how bad. So
that's bad. That's bad.
and when they found out that many of them have been doing these things to our children around the planet, that's when people become aware of that. That's going to be a real big wake-up call.
Right. That's the thing. And that's why with the class I'm getting with people, I'm teaching one-on-one class, and when I'm doing the intuitive class, they're not expecting to see some of the stuff that they're going up and seeing, and they're kind of shocked by it too, that they're like, oh, they're showing me all this details of information and it's just downloading in them. And, to get around that, when I deal with missing persons, is you just don't put yourself emotionally involved in it. You have to be the witness to bear it, but don't try to get your heart involved in the situation, because it's almost too much for the soul to handle.
I bet.
I mean, you've got to understand that's completely a pure evil situation. And so
Thank you, Michelle.
That's why we have to bear witness to seeing it. And so you can't turn our head, because what they sacrificed, the pain that they went through, it is important that you know this in a memory of understanding that values their soul completely across the board. The lambs of this world, the innocent lambs, because they are, and their purity was sacrificed. So it's just not good. So I don't know. I just I hope humanity gets their shit together.
Yeah. Well, most of the light workers, including myself and yourself too, it's getting exhausting. It's just like,
yeah.
Are we there yet? Like the kid in the back seat of the car. Are we there yet?
Nope. But the thing is I think you're going to know the moment. There's a sense that I said that it's inside, that resides within all of us, that it is part of that awakening stage of the knowing. And it's not some idol that's going to come on YouTube and say, this is the moment. It's like,
Yeah, really.
You know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. So
here's a question for you, Jenny.
Whole thing it's the process of, we're getting to this process of, it's not that someone else has to tell you, it's just that you inside have to relate to the truth that's sitting there going, okay, it's coming, because I sense, each individual senses it. And that's that inner voice that I tell you that's connected to Creator, that you're all going to hear that frequency. You're all going to hear that sound, because you've been paying attention to, you've been waiting for that direction. It's not going to be any alien species that's going to connect with you on that situation. It is going to be the only one, and once that comes along, like they said, this peace, this inner peace, it's like a stand at attention moment, little in a universal voice that you'll know. It's the knowing. And so we're at that point, you can sense it, because we're at the complete edge, and we're going to start moving over the edge here soon if we don't get going, because that's just going to push them all over. So we're at that point.
Yeah, there's a question. Will the ice wall melt?
Yes, it is starting to already.
Okay. Kevin is asking about, I missed this one, about the all the different islands. Epstein Island is not the only island where they did these horrific things. There's a whole bunch of them.
Right. It's just the one that was limelighted.
Exactly. Who was it? Celine Dion. She had an island. I just saw a whole list. There's quite a few of them that had
Ugh.
have
She
eyelids.
grosses me out, period. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it all grosses me out. She was heavy into it too.
Ugh. You can obviously see that now.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, the ones that went from looking all fine and wonderful
To the death look.
the death look, yeah, emaciated and oh, there's something seriously wrong with that guy. Oh, gal.
You know what? It's that it's the good witch and the bad witch, and then the witch wants to stay youthful, the bad witch, and then when that's what the bad witch wants, and then when you take the bite of the apple and your youth comes, but you have to sustain that. Once you've tapped into evil and used evil, you have to consistently bite into that, and then when it's not there, it literally shows your age so fast. It's like one of the mummy movies, in or Indiana Jones, where they wanted to sustain their youth. They're probably telling you exactly what they're all about. And so, yeah, it's going to look ash to ash, dust to dust. It's going to go back to dust. And that's what's going to happen.
This Kevin is mentioning the fact that Ghislaine, I don't know how to say your name correctly, but Ghislaine, if that's how you say it, she was actually a submarine owner and skipper, so to speak. And he says that maybe that's where we should be looking, but that would be in the water, wouldn't it? Watch the water.
Everything has to surface. Everything has to come to the surface. The truth has to come to the surface. So I believe that that's going to happen already. Whether they accept it is a whole different situation. I believe that the ones that are directing the movie are really humiliating these ones that did take the deal with the devil.
Yeah, I think you're right. I would have to agree with that from some of what I'm seeing. They haven't gotten to everybody yet, but they're working on it. So yeah, really.
The whole thing is, it will all be seen in the light. Who you serve and what you started from the beginning serving and what you ended up serving at the end. And that is going to be shown, and you can't deny it. You can't run away from it. It's the whole process of that. And I think people are already shocked. They're already seeing that whole situation.
Yeah, there are more people that are starting to see more all the time. Every day I'm noticing, and I'm going, yes, finally, let's see, what was that? Oh, Christine was just saying about, air tunnels and submarines. There were all those different ways to go to whatever island they decided to go to. It's like Jenny was saying, Epstein's Island just happened to be showcased.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the hardest thing for me.
Oh, wow. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That you die and it's over. But the kids that were stuck in cages day in, day out, the only thing that they had was the hope of someday someone rescuing them and saving them or their soul. And even when they got to that point, some could not be saved. And that suffering is eternal.
I was just going to say, what happens to their consciousness with that kind of thing in it?
Well, I mean, the first thing I always get is an angelic presence carrying them to their, on the other side of the veil. Like a couple weeks ago, you saw how everybody was throwing the angels on the bus. They're all bad. And you're just mad and pissed off because they're all over the deck clock. They're showing you the truth. You can't take it. But again, you're like I said, you were seeing in the spiritual community, they were promoting that whole situation, and now you're seeing I call them the one that always carries the seventh seal, and it's always been Michael. And so we're at the end of that process, and there's that final. I always say that final conflict's going to happen. That final moment is it's going to build up to that, and that is the point of we have to bear witness to see that. It's important to know who was literally fighting for us and who wasn't, who was against us from the beginning.
And it's my understanding we are going to be surprised. Some of the ones that we thought were for us are against us, and some of the ones that we thought were bad were actually for us. So that should be very interesting when we find out. Somebody was just mentioning that they witnessed 2 cars crashing into each other, and there was no screeching of tires. It was like neither could see the other until they collided. What's up with that?
Maybe it was the fact that I talked about this is when that switch goes off in these programs. It don't matter if you're in a car. It don't matter if you're walking. It doesn't matter if you're in a train. It doesn't matter if you're driving a lawnmower. Disconnect. And then just fall right there. So, and I told you New York was going to be the first one that you're going to see a witness of that situation.
Now, would that also be the ones that were jabbed?
I'm not getting that. These are the programs that have always been here.
Oh, okay. The NPCs then you're talking about?
No, I'm not. It's not
that either.
No, it is the NPCs, but it is also they call them organic systems, NPCs, programs. I mean, there's several of them, but it's their chain of command is no longer there above to tell them what to do, and it's going to dismantle. That's the whole thing. So it doesn't matter what they're doing at that moment.
Okay. I'm just scrolling to see if we have any other questions. Today's 111, you know that?
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. Well, the 1st and the 11th, 111.
Yeah, so, I'd be paying attention to what you're seeing in court proceedings, because I think there's a lot of information being let in those court proceedings that are a part of the movie to let you know how the outcome's going to start to roll out on situations. And somehow we still wrap our heads around the fact that they think that the old system's in control, and they're not. So the truth is in the details. So analyzing those, what their very careful words of wisdom is in those.
Have you heard of this guy, Jenny? Dave XRP Lion?
I have not. Of course, I have not looked for him either.
Yeah. Well, he's a big proponent of what's supposed to come forward with Nisara Gesara.
Mm-hmm.
And XRP is a cryptocurrency that's supposed to be backed, I believe. Excuse me.
Cryptocurrency is bad?
No, it's a cryptocurrency. XRP is supposed to be an okay cryptocurrency that will be asset backed, supposedly, I guess.
No, I wouldn't be surprised with that. It's just the other one that's, I think I told you from the get-go that's crap.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, and so the whole thing...
Well, it was used for a lot of nefarious reasons, but that doesn't mean that there weren't people that were, legitimately using it either.
So, the thing I do want to talk about is, okay, so you have JP Morgan that's claiming bankrupt. So what is this, like a domino effect? So you see the big ones start to go down, and then you're just going to see the domino effect with that. So,
JP, that's one of the biggest ones. That Deutsche Bank, and that one already kind of went, didn't it? Or did they save that? I don't remember.
I think I saw something on JP. I didn't see anything in the other, but you're going to see it consistent going down. Remember, locking their doors, closing the corporations, being done. Remember, I told you about that. So the corporation doors, and that they would end in that way, and then buildings and bridges. So because they built buildings and they built bridges. So,
and we had collusion between corporations and government, and in very bad, dark ways. And,
right.
So it's good that they're coming down. It's going to cause us to do some scrambling for goods and services, but it's the only way we're going to get rid of the evil.
Well, this is a good thing. The government's not bailing them out.
Really? Wow. They don't have any money to bail them out with, or they would.
Exactly. So what happens? You have to do what the normal person does when stuff like that happens. You go under.
Oh, we have a question here that you might want to answer. I don't think it matters, but
what was the question?
Hi, what do you know about cremation? Is that bad for the energy or soul?
No, it's great. That's the best way to go.
Yeah.
I prefer the Viking way. I think that's the best way to go.
Is that a Viking way?
No. Well, I mean, you get pushed out to sea with your body, and then they set fire.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Okay. I didn't know it was the Vikings that did that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if we got any other questions. Well, I'm not sure where she means here. Will there be many changes in the U.S. VI? I love St. Croix. What's VI?
I don't know. I love St. Croix. I don't know. She'd have to read.
Yeah, tell me what you mean by VI. I'm not sure what you mean there. Maybe it was a typo error or something. Okay.
So the one thing I would tell you, what I've been teaching, is people to stay in frequency, high frequency, Hertz frequency, because that's changing your body and your and how we're dealing with things and how we're writing this process out. So Hertz frequency is something to be listening to ride these process that we're going through out right now. What are you looking at? You look like you saw something.
Oh, I'm trying to see some of the questions here. Here's one, for example. Jenny, is there a region that they are concentrating on now that they are finishing cleaning out?
Well, I'd say New York is getting they're crossing the I's and dotting the T's in that area, and I think they're starting with the religions there. So let's see how many churches they clear out in New York.
Well, that should be interesting. Yeah, no mercy for those that have hurt children. I'm certainly on board with that. There was something else I was going to ask you, and it slipped my mind, and I'm waiting for it to come back to me. Here is one for you, Jenny, asking you, can you address what is meant by crossing the bridge into the new earth, and what it takes to be one that crosses and who stay behind on the old earth?
So I called it the Golden Bridge because I always said the Golden Road. So what's behind us is just dust. There's nothing there. And so you see the bridge across, and you got to trust it enough, the new system, and you got to have faith in enough and not be in fear to cross that bridge. That's what it takes, is to be fearless and get over and have confidence, because when you get on the other side, you're going to be okay. And that's the whole thing. It's something new that people are afraid of new. They're afraid of a new process that they haven't seen before. But the more just
change.
say, yeah, it's like the whole process of the Moses when they walk, everybody's afraid, but you got to take the chance and go. Because the fruits are on the other side. And do I think that some great bridge, I mean, the golden bridge that's coming, I don't think you're going to see a lot of evil people trying to get across that bridge because they already know that they're not going to get the fruits on the other side. I'm just telling you.
Maria's wondering, will they show videos of the highly idolized people doing the horrific things that they did?
Yes.
They will?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
I
guess that needs to happen for people to believe it.
Because I don't get my information from this realm. Just when you ask a question, it's an area with the energy. So yeah, I believe that it's important to bear the witness of each process.
Let me see what else we got here. Oh, we're over an hour already. Huh. Someone has a question about all the people coming across our border. Is there a need to be concerned about it?
I'm not feeling that. I just haven't, and they haven't showed me to be a big concern with that. In that situation, and maybe when they tell them, well, if you want your funding, you got to go back home. It might be a big rapid
Exodus.
Yeah, going back home. So you don't know. It just depends on the region they have to get their funding. So, but no,
that would be a great way to. That wouldn't even be called deportation at that point. It would be, I want to go. Money. I'm not going to get it here.
Right. Exactly. So. So the thing is I don't. That has not been a strength in a fear process, in something that they're going to be able to do or sabotage, because I think people are very paranoid right there, watching everything. I mean, right now the pedophiles are the ones being hunted.
And rightly so. Let's see. A girl in the universe says we will all know. We will feel the clarion call and know it's time.
Yes, it is a call, but it is a frequency and a tone and a vibration that resides always within you, that no one else has that connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true. Let's see what Keife has to say here. That's why the Kabbalah was fearing the ice melting. It was about the ice wall all this time.
Don't even get me started on the Ruby Lake, okay?
Okay, not this time because it's too far along.
Yeah. We're already going there down that road. Yeah, so that the jewels of the Nile and a lot of jewels and a lot of paradise and everything's over on the other side. Everybody's vacation trip is going to be on the other side of the ice. No one's going to want to be here. Let's go over there.
Yeah, really. Yeah, Celine, they got her at a very young age, and unfortunately she sold out. The call is being made to do their very public walk of shame.
I don't think that's a walk of shame. I think it might be a target, because I don't think anybody wants to walk that pallet because they know they were the last 2 seconds. That's the thing. And none of them want to walk it. They want to disappear. And so, and even with me and you, notice people that used to be doing a lot of stuff, they're not around, they're not saying a peep, they're not doing nothing, and it makes you wonder. You got to look at the audience now, and you got to look at the details. Details. Look at the necks.
Yeah, that little line there where the mask is.
Yeah. Look at the scarves. Anyway, to tell you the truth, so it's right in front of you.
What's this one here? Okay, somebody's saying, regarding the humanitarians and notification, I'm getting it's BS again. What? Are you talking about humanitarian projects or something like that?
No, I heard they're on tier 4 on that, so I don't. That is something that has to happen to even get to a process of where we're at. That's something that can't be avoided. That has to happen.
Oh, wow. Listen to this. Somebody's saying at airports, I'm at the airport and a lot of people run right into all the time, phone or no phone. I have to start talking or waving my things.
They're running into what?
Just this, they could run right into you is what she means, because they're not paying any attention, or they're in another world and moving forward at the same time and not watching where they're going or what they're doing. Let's see. Postmaster's arrested. What? Why do I say postmaster's arrested?
No.
I don't know what that's what do you mean by that?
Oh, they think the Hamilton judge was arrested, so no.
Oh, what? XRP is technology. I thought it was a cryptocurrency. Well, what do I know? I guess I've got somebody that's been, people that have been bugging me to get a QFS account and a trust account, and I'm going, what for? What am I going to do with that? I don't have any money to put into it. There are a lot of people that have 401ks and have a lot of money. There may be reason there, but that's just not. I'm more like your average American, sorry, probably even on the lower income scale. So it's okay. I don't know if we have any more questions. I'm trying to scroll quickly, but
well, I mean, the thing that I'm not okay. We're talking about humanity, and the point is put yourself in a process beyond the needs that you already say they're already met. You have to start putting your conscience into a process beyond that. Focus on that stuff. Focus on how you're going to function in life, what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be creating. And that's the thing that people are getting lost into one funding situation, but they need to be focusing on, because that can happen overnight. Okay. So then it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Well, you need to be thinking about that, what you're supposed to be doing, what's going to, what you feel that resides within you to start creating, developing, volunteering. You've got to come to a point that we have to get past this process. And that's what they need to focus on, and not so much the fixation of, because the old society has made the money the most important thing. And now we're coming down to a point that that's not going to be. So you have to focus on the mission. What is your mission? Each person has that. And they know at this point, if you're standing here listening to this, you're at that point of knowing and not blowing it off or ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? So I think,
well, let's give people something to work with. If you were, what kind of missions would be a variety of missions that people might
so look around you. Nature is vast on help. It needs help in cleaning it up, in the waters, in the trash alone. We already know that, and the toxins and all that stuff. You have to look at how you're going to contribute your time. What development are you going to be volunteering to help clean? The whole thing is cleaning it up. humans have made a mess of this area of this planet, and they have to return it back to the way it was, or it was flourishing before, not full of toxins and poisons and sickness. Everything gets sick from it. So I have to return that back. It's just the way. You can't leave it this way. You cannot going to consume it and just leave it for someone else to clean up. It's not going to happen.
Somebody's asking, so crossing the bridge is an idea and not a physical bridge, right?
Right. But is a physical, it's not a physical bridge. It is a mental bridge that you get across because you're not in the fear process and you can see the light on the other side.
And somebody's asking about debt forgiveness. It wasn't even our debt, most of it anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't. And well, like I said, no one's going to be bailing out JP Morgan. So you got no one to pay.
No, it should be interesting too. Won't people's mortgages disappear as well?
Well, yeah, the corporation's not there.
Yeah. Same with student loans, same with everything that has been holding people down. Oh, somebody's asking about Oprah Winfrey. Do you want to answer that?
Why don't you ask Danny Henderson about her? They're buddies.
Well, from what I saw someone escorting her in the Golden Globes. That was not Oprah Winfrey.
No, that was like an old lady who had dementia.
Yeah. Well, it was not Oprah. She is probably in custody. If she's still with us.
Well, all her friends need to be in custody too.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I was somebody's talking about Gene Decode. I asked him to be on my show about a year ago and he refused. So I'm not that turned on by him. Even though he does have some that always concerns me. But anyway.
There are many masks out there. So.
Oh yeah, that's what Kevin just said. Did you see that, or did you just say that? There was a telepathic communication there.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, people are starting to notice. Okay. See, here you go. I saw Marie Osmond on the commercial, and it doesn't even look like her. It is. Right. It is her or not. And we're going to see more and more of that all the time because these people are being removed and replaced with lookalikes, clones, masks, any number of those kinds of things too. But still, with some, I swear they're making it so obvious that you can't miss it.
Right, you know? Exactly.
You have to be really ignoring things not to be able to see it. And that's part of the problem. Mary Jean, it's her voice was different. It's not her. That's why.
Yep, you really have to go back to old images and compare it to new images.
Oh my God. I know this one I had, it says the post office has surely been complicit with shipping of live children, just like the
post office
shipping lines. Pardon?
The post office?
That's what it's saying.
I'd have to do some research on that. I haven't heard that one. That's a new one.
I haven't either. So I haven't either. That's new to me. I haven't heard that one. That would be a little trickier, I would think. Let's see. It said Oprah was being plagued by Diamond and Silk, or Diamond passed away. I don't know which one's which, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I read the same thing, Lenore. Yeah, crossed that bridge a long time ago. Boy, oh boy. Where's the end of this? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, interesting. Q-Face said something interesting. Gene is not pure enough for you, Gail. FCB instead. Oh, okay. I know who he is. I've seen him before. I'll try again and see what he says. I'll let you know.
Right. Uh-huh.
So our entire realm has been focused on the sale of children, and it's just unbelievable when you think about it. Thank you, Tim Potter. I'm sure Jean knows about some things more than I do, but where did that go? Oh, here it is. Tim Potter, Jean Decode is fascinating character. But we love you more, Gail. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. I really appreciate my audience, and I really appreciate your participating. It makes it more fun for Jenny and I both that way, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well, is there anything else that you wanted to share? And we probably should wrap this up here shortly.
Because not right now, just the corporations. So you're already seeing it happen. And then locked out on the buildings, and then the inner cities cutting off roads. And
what's going to happen in the inner cities? What are you referring to?
That they have to trap the rat. They have to filter. You got to understand where they're pushing them. They're pushing them into the cities, and then you can trap the rats in the cities, and then you can filter them, and then you ship them off on the white buses, and then they decide what information they need from them, what they don't.
Okay.
It's going to end in the cities. So.
All right, and there will be changes along the coast, the West Coast, from San Francisco down.
Right.
And LA's in trouble.
That's bad.
That's Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. They did some very bad things to become famous. And,
right. They did. And so, yeah, pretty much everybody knows how to get a hold of me and my website for classes, readings, mediumship readings. Huh, Gail?
Yes. Yes, I got to make sure I have that. I kind of threw things together this morning.
And and then, like I said, just feeling everything now. I mean, literally for yourself. I think we're down to that.
Well, remember they said that Israel saving Israel for last. Isn't that happening right now?
I haven't looked recently, but I can go and see.
Okay, maybe next time we can talk about that based on what you find out.
Okay.
I did a show, and you people might want to watch it. Somebody brought it up, so I want people to know that. The show that I did yesterday, I did a show with shows yesterday. Actually, I did one with Sterling Hill, and she was talking about how they are hacking our biofield or our aura. And it's very interesting, and it's very true. And
especially if you're not aware of energy, and if you're not aware of something intercepting, or you're not sensing anything, I can see how it can happen easily.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Well, I guess that's a wrap for this week.
Okay.
And thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate your being in our audience and participating, because that makes the show more interesting and more fun for everybody, for that matter. And once again, I'll just say this. Please look in the description for some different things that I've found. And one of them is even a virtual dispensary, which kind of blows my mind. I just found out about that. So you can get mushrooms and all kinds of things. It's very interesting. So anyway, and then I'm a big proponent for the Super Patch because it's helped so many people.
Right. Exactly.
But that is all we have for this week. And thank you, Jenny, for your time and energy. And your website is jennysite. Correct?
Yes, two S's.
Two S's. Well, Jenny's and site.
Yeah.
SIGHT site. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I have to find my end credits, and that'll be it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I love all you guys. We'll see you again soon. Namaste.
Stay in the light. Stay.
brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show